What makes a person happy in their life? Is it to live in misery, or is it to live in comfort? Sadly, there are a lot of people today living in misery. And it's not the type of misery that losing a loved one or being diagnosed with a life-threatening illness can bring. No, the reason why these people are miserable is because of a more simpler problem. The reason why a lot of people are miserable is because they don't want to use or understand the ability to say no when dealing with other people. You see, in this world, comfort, being in control of your life, and doing what makes you feel good is a part of what makes you happy. Now, on the flip side, when you are not doing what you want, but what somebody else wants you to do, you feel discomfort and not in control. And since it's not something you wanted to do in the first place, it's a lower chance that it can bring you happiness. And if this continues throughout a person's life, it can lead to bad feelings such as emptiness, unhappiness, and misery. Living in any society, no matter the location, it is easier and healthier to be a happy person than a miserable one. And just like the body has an immune system to defend against illness and disease, we have a method of defending against things that can be pushed on us by others that could potentially cause us to be unhappy or miserable. And that is the ability to say no. You see, when a person requests something from you, whether it's to clean their house or just hang out, your mind starts to think of different reasons of why you should or shouldn't do what they're asking. And if you determine that the request is not something you want to do, you then will reject the request and say no, allowing you to maintain the comfort and control you already have over your life because it was not interrupted by you doing something you did not want to. On the other hand, had you determined that the request was something that you did not want to do, but agreed to it anyway, you will not feel good about it because you are then forcing yourself to do something you don't want to, causing discomfort and a feeling of not being in control, which can lead to bad feelings like unhappiness. Understand that it is a lot easier to just say no to doing things you don't want to do, but it is always 10 times harder to do something you don't want to. And though the person who asked you might seem like the bad guy for even requesting it, can you really blame them? You're the one who agreed to doing something you didn't want to do in the first place. In order to be happy, or even content, there has to be control over your life and the choices you make. Without control, you're destined to be miserable. And even if a person yells and gets angry at you for not saying yes to whatever they wanted, it does not matter. Because in the end, you still have control of your life and your choices, which is 10 times better than agreeing and having it interrupted. Always do things because you want to. You can't let fear and other reasons keep you from denying things you don't want, because it's your happiness that's at stake and nobody else's. If the relationship is bad and you don't want to be in it anymore, say no to it. If there are people in your life giving you nothing but problems, say no to them. It's better to remove things that cause you grief than to keep them there and be miserable. Listen, in any relationship, whether it's being friends with someone or lovers, There has to be a level of trust and understanding towards each other. That means both people must know what the other person likes or dislikes. So it can be said that for an understanding to be made with someone, a person must accept the things that they like, as well as reject the things that they dislike. Look, when a person is told no, they will do one of three things. They will either 1, accept the decision of the other person, 2, try to persuade the person to agree, or 3, try and use force to make the person agree. Actions 1 and 2 are okay, and if the request is not something that should be straight up denied, action 2, in a lot of situations, is the best method. Because when a person says no, it's likely that they have a reason for why they said no. And if a person can put these reasons to rest, the other person will agree. And there's nothing wrong with that. In this life, there is always new things that can be good for us. Whether it's going to a new restaurant or meeting a new person, there will always be new things. And if a person's negative reasons are put to rest and they submit, it might be something that makes them a happier person in the end. So therefore, it's nothing wrong with trying to persuade a person to do something. And we as people should always be open to hearing other people out when they ask something of us, especially if it's helping another person in need or even ourselves. On the other hand, the third action, which is force, should never be used unless it is from a person of authority, such as parents or police. A friend or lover should never try to force the other person into doing something they don't want to do. And we as people should never agree with or allow someone with no authority over us to force us into doing something. So in conclusion, say no to things you don't want, because it will make you a lot happier in the end. This is Creeptv. Ain't no gentleman here, only creeps with no fear. Signing out.